You're at a quiet cafe sipping your coffee when a man walks in. No flashy suit, no oversized watch, just a quiet confidence in his stride. He doesn't try to impress anyone, yet people seem drawn to him. He moves with ease as if the world bends slightly in his favor. He speaks little, but when he does, others listen. There's no rush in his voice, no eagerness to prove himself. You wouldn't guess he's a millionaire at first glance, but there's something different about him. And that difference, that's what smart women notice. See, real wealth doesn't announce itself. It doesn't need to. The truly wealthy don't walk into a room demanding attention. They attract it naturally. It's not in the designer labels or luxury cars, but in the way they think, act, and carry themselves. If you know what to look for, you can spot wealth long before it's ever spoken aloud. One of the first signs? Their sense of calm. Pay attention to how they move. Millionaires don't fidget with nervous energy or rush from one thing to the next. They have a quiet certainty about them, as if they already know the outcome will work in their favor. They take their time, ordering a drink, making decisions, engaging in conversation. They don't feel the need to fill every silence with chatter because they're comfortable with who they are. They don't chase approval. They don't explain themselves unnecessarily. They simply exist with a level of assurance that most people don't have. Then there's the way they listen, not the passive, half-hearted nodding that most people do, but real focused attention. When they engage in conversation, they're not waiting for their turn to speak. They're absorbing, analyzing. They ask thoughtful questions, the kind that make you stop and think. And when they do speak, it's with purpose. Their words aren't rushed or filled with fluff. Every sentence is intentional. Every pause has meaning. But here's where it gets really interesting. Millionaires don't handle money the way most people think. The biggest misconception is that the wealthy love spending money to show off. In reality, they value money too much to waste it. They're not cheap, but they are intentional. They know the difference between spending and investing. That's why you might see a millionaire wearing a plain t-shirt but owning a portfolio of real estate. Their wealth isn't sitting in their closet. It's working for them. They don't chase trends, they create them. While most people spend their money trying to look rich, the truly wealthy invest in things that appreciate over time. Businesses, assets, knowledge. That's why they rarely get excited over flashy things. Their excitement comes from control over their time, their choices, their future. And then there's their social presence. Ever noticed how some people dominate a room by being loud? Millionaires don't need to do that. They command attention in a completely different way. They walk into a space with quiet confidence, assessing the energy before making their move. They don't force themselves into conversations. They allow conversations to come to them. They're selective about the people they engage with, because time is their most valuable asset. They're also the ones making introductions, not waiting to be introduced. They don't cling to social circles for validation. They build relationships with people who add value. And when they speak, there's a certain gravity to their words, because they've trained themselves to think in terms of long-term vision, not short-term gratification. But perhaps the most telling sign? Their attitude toward problems. This is where the difference becomes crystal clear. Where most people see obstacles, millionaires see opportunities. They don't waste time complaining. They don't get stuck in victim mentality. If something goes wrong, they don't panic, they adjust. They ask, how do I solve this? Instead of, why is this happening to me? This mindset makes them incredibly resilient. They're not emotionally reactive. They don't let minor setbacks ruin their day. And when they do face failure, which they inevitably do, they don't see it as the end. They see it as data, a lesson to be learned. That's why they keep moving forward when others would have given up. Smart women notice all of this. They don't just look at what a man has today. They pay attention to how he thinks, how he reacts, how he positions himself for the future. Because real wealth isn't just about money. It's about discipline, vision, and the ability to navigate life with intelligence and control. And the men who truly have it, they don't need to prove it. They simply are.